Alright, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night. This is Art, and we are continuing our Lord of the Rings Online book quest run. Last time, we arrived at Osgiliath in Volume 4, Book 3, infiltrated in a search for Faramir. Haven't been successful in that, but managed to locate some missing rangers, and discovered and sabotaged the Dark Forces' ace up their sleeve, Grond, which is a massive wolf-headed battering ram that they intend to use to break into Minas Tirith. So, you know, we did some good, but we still haven't located Faramir, and we're gonna get started on Book 4 in Volume 4, and hopefully that's where this takes us. So, yeah, let's see.
Will we fall from the Pelennor as we fell from Osgiliath?
Bump this up a little bit. The city's been lost, Faramir is missing, and his men are dead or captured. We have slowed the enemy's march as much as we could, but now we must see to our own safety. That will bring us by secret passages beyond the enemy camp, and from there we will make our way to the causeway. Alright, so it might be time to escape Osgiliath.
I cannot stop thinking about Gothmog and the great ram, Grond.
My brother and I left Minas Tirith to seek adventure and hunt the mighty Mumakil, and at the time it felt like a prison. Now I see the white city on the horizon and it seems a refuge instead. Can its walls stand against the evils we have beheld? I cannot stop thinking about that frightful apparition, Gothmog. Is it true he has the power to escape death? What will happen when the great ram Grond is repaired and he brings it across the Pelennor? We will do what we must, as always, and not shrink in fear. Truly, we will let it drive us to greater heights of courage. It seems that some of the defenders of the Causeway forts fled before the encroaching army, and were slain before they reached safety. See if any men survived, and defeat their pursuers. It could be their injuries were grave, but not yet mortal. Alright, so let's see if we can find any survivors. So are we out of... Are we out of Osgiliath? Because I did have some side business there I could do. But I guess that was the thing, right? Like, this took you immediately into... The man did not survive. It seems the enemy hewed his body after he fell. That's... no, not cool. Yeah, I guess I could always go back. And again, like, this was an instance. It wasn't like I had a choice in staying or leaving. Check for signs of life, but this man has been dead for some time. I don't mind fighting the swarms. I don't mind fighting wargs. I do not want to deal with horseback. Checks for signs of life, but he's already succumbed to death. Okay. Defeat foes on the Pelennor. I don't know if this guy's going to count as a foe. Let's see if a warg counts as a foe, because I just do not want to deal... Yes. Now, I gotta be careful, because wargs always do significant damage. I always find myself cutting it a little bit closer to the bone than I expect. I don't know if it's because they debuff your armor or something so more damage gets through, but there's always something about them that I'm like, oh shit, I might be about to die. Okay, I can hit this camp as well, so I don't have to deal with the horseback stuff. You know, and for all intents and purposes, I'm glad they give you the option. If people out there are digging the mounted combat from Rohan, like, more power. It's definitely not my thing. But that doesn't mean other people aren't going to dig it, and they should get the chance to have as much fun with that mechanic as possible. These three are normal, so let's get these guys going. I should be able to take all three at once. You know what? Let's whoops. A lot going on there. That's not good. Here we go. Let's get that out of the way. Let's do some restoration shield, whatever, and let's get this started proper. Because I've already screwed this up enough. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Where's...
You found no survivors. Orcs will pay for this.
I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed to hear that good men of Gondor were bludgeoned or hewn even after death. We needed no further reason to hate the orcs, but still they provide it for us. We'll not forget. And every insult will be repaid tenfold. All right.
This place will soon be crawling with enemies. It is time to leave.
Okay. Again, we're starting to get... Oh, this has got essences. Agility, might, or will. Let's take agility.
Saddle your steed. Tell me when you are ready to ride.
Okay. This warg gonna... No. The Pelennor is wide and it will not be long before it fills with the forces of the enemy. Climb aboard your steed and tell me when you are ready to ride to Minas Tirith. I mean, if it's just riding to Minas Tirith, I'm fine with that. But if it's actually doing mounted combat... I reiterate my ugh. Alright, so let's swap that in. Let's see if we've got some traceries that we can throw in there that... I don't know. Critical rating, that can't hurt, right? Have we not been... Hold on a second. Yeah, let's apply it to there. Okay, so what do we got? I assume we can only have one slot for gloves. The question is with this. Okay, let's put this bracelet on. We got morale. We're gonna put this on the gleaming bracelet of the valleys, I guess. And now let's throw more traceries on it. Minor. Do we have major? Anything like that? Yeah, okay, let's throw one of those on there, I guess. Honestly, I was looking for something with, you know, some, I don't know. Some morale, basically. Throw one of these on there, why not? Let's gather those back up. What happens if I just right-click? Spear gambit damage. Or heal bonus for conviction. I don't know, what happens if I right-click? Yeah, why not? Morale, tap resistance. That way, all that stuff I'm doing probably is going to be pushing through better. But now, yeah, whatever, it's fine. At least it's something, right? We're not wasting it. Okay, so let's get on our horse. Hopefully it's not like combat bullshit.
Quickly now, follow me.
Osgiliath is lost, and its defenders flee across the plain. Can they reach the White City before the enemy overtakes them?
There's someone off the road. We must help them. You have found Faramir, but the young captain is hard-pressed on all sides. Captain Faramir! I do not know you, stranger, but I can tell by your livery that you are a friend. My men and I must reach the White City, but we were pursued. Southrons harry us on foot and on horseback, and terrible wraiths attack from the skies. Fight them off, my friend. We must reach the city if we can.
The enemy draws near! Fight!
Nope, wrong one. I mean, the reality is, like, all these little bonuses probably don't actually amount to much. I was talking about this. My brother and I, at the time of this recording, recently completed Remnant 2, which is sort of like a Diablo-y sci-fi shooter with some Soulsy, you know. It's a lot going on there. It was genuinely fun. I had a good time. But, you know, a lot of the time we were sitting there like, okay, you know, we'd be talking over like, okay, if we do this, we're going to get 1.1%. And then finally, what the fuck are we doing? Like, you know, I know it's possible to compound like 1.1% bonuses, but it's like, who the fuck cares? Who cares? And that's why, like, you know, things like, you know, as much as I enjoyed Diablo and, you know, Borderlands and, you know, stuff like this, I just don't care about the mechanics because I just don't care to spend time thinking about like a 0.73% bump to this and how that's going to combine with 14 other 0.7. I just don't care. A dart flies right by your head, missing by inches. Then another. Faramir has fallen. What? Stand beside Faramir and defend him from his foes. Ooh, shit.
The White Rider!
Gandalf, nice.
For Gondor! For Faramir!
Black Lodge. Faramir has sustained a wound, Black Lodge. Soon the enemy will surround us. Cannot stay here. Ride for the city. I will follow with Faramir and Prince Imrahil. Go, now.
Ride for the city!
You have come to Minas Tirith in time. Completed instance too far from the city.
Some dark sorcery lurks within Faramir's wound. I do not like it.
I wish we had met under different circumstances, but I'm glad you came to Faramir's defense when you did. His wound is not deep, but I fear that some fell sorcery remains within it. He swoons and does not respond to our voices. I will bring him to his father in the White Tower. Steward Denethor will want to see what has become of his son. I hope that son and father both will have the strength to come through this. The line is strong. I'm sure they will. Still, for Faramir to be wounded thus, and so soon after word reached us of his brother's demise, it seems that there will be no end to the challenges set before us in these dark days. I wish we could sit and speak in peace of Dol Amroth, my home, but that's a wish that must wait. I go now to the steward.
We must hope Faramir's wounding came not from a weapon of Morgul make.
I do not want to worry you, but there's something unnatural about the wound suffered by Faramir during his retreat from the Causeway forts. I've seen a wound of this type before, but this seems to have greatly accelerated... This seems to have a greatly accelerated pace, and the healing hands of Elrond are many mountains away. Gandalf sighs warily. There were many servants of the enemy near to Faramir on that field. We must hope that his wound was not caused by a weapon of Morgul make, for there will be no hope of a cure if that be so. I told Imrahil the same as I am telling you. Do not speak of this worry to Denethor. It may prove unnecessary, but we must not give him reason to despair for the life of Faramir. The young captain is his only remaining heir, and we need the steward to focus on the battle that is sure to come if Minas Tirith is to stand. Gandalf suddenly stares at you piercingly. Of course, I'm glad to see you, but there is now work to be done and little time in which to do it. The pleasantries can wait until after the war is done. If that is a boon we are to be given.
You will need to freely travel throughout the city.
You travel as I do, Black Lodge, on the wings of the storm. Men may call you a harbinger of dark times, but in truth we go where we are most needed. Today, that is Minas Tirith, the Tower of Guard. You will need to freely travel throughout the city if you are to best serve the people of Minas Tirith. Any obstruction to your free passage will hinder your efforts, and that is a help to the enemy. The city climbs this easternmost spur of the White Mountains, ascending in 7 levels, each separated by a gate. Men of Gondor safeguard greater and lesser passwords for each gate. The lesser passwords change frequently, and the greater passwords remain in use for much longer. I will give you my pledge of your trustworthiness. Show it to the guards at each gate, and they will teach you the passwords for each gate. And one more thing, the men of Gondor do not know me by the name Gandalf. They call me Mithrandir, and I invite you to do the same. All right. Okay, we got medium armor not agility or might? Let's go with might. Why not? No, I'm not there yet. Okay. Okay, travel to Minas Tirith and speak with... Okay, there's that. Talk to Thalgam at the Sword Gate to the second circle.
How may I help you, friend?
Indeed, Masters of Minas Tirith. What's going on here?
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith. Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith.
Okay. Master Builder, overseeing the city repairs. I'd like to start overseeing repairs as soon as it's safe again to leave the city. If you're venturing out into Pelennor, would you be interested in surveying the damages? Yeah, why not?
The enemies of men approach. I hope you are prepared.
Okay, he rode with Prince Imrahil. We fill him in on... We met his wife, Ruidis and Tadrint, on your travels through Belfalas. Good news brightens his spirits. We tell him that everything's going okay. They're hanging in there. The flame burns bright with the hope of Gondor.
It is your first time in Minas Tirith.
Thank you for news, traveler. It gives me hope.
Days.
And it's a reminder of what I fight for. Wow, look at this. Huh. Not that, This is very cool. This is very, very, very cool. Alright, let's hook the other way. I think that's the way we want to go. I'm sure I'm going to get turned around. It's going to be a nightmare to traverse at some point, but for now, this is very cool. Homesteads? No, we're okay right now. Wardens of Minas Tirith? That sounds...
Everyone's on edge, waiting for something to happen.
Alright, with so many people evacuating the city, many homes have been left empty. Confront opportunistic thieves. You can't loot. Now, I assume these are going to be lore. Okay, so it's finding these plaques. I guess, you know, since I'm here, there's a couple behind me. Let me hit those up real quick. guests of the White City, so there's 10 other plaques, I guess. I guess that's to familiarize yourself, maybe? Whoa, okay. I don't know if these are going to be worth it. It's basically a few Lotro points and maybe some, you know, it's Lotro points and, standing. I don't know if that's worth the amount of effort it might take, but I'll, whatever. As I run into them, I'll take a look. But to actually hunt them down, it looks like there's dozens on each deed. Or like a dozen on each deed. Now, I'll be curious to see, like, if you're going to build out Minas Tirith.
Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Confront the thief. If you're going to build out Minas Tirith, I wonder if this is going to be, not to the same degree, but like a Moria set piece. Like, you're going to make us like it's a bad thing. It's a game. I could just stop playing tomorrow if I wanted to. But if you're going to take some time to, like, hey, go throughout the city, do this, do that, really see everything. Instead of some of the things where it's just like a quick, like Osgiliath was really cool, and you know, technically speaking, we don't have to be done there. There's a lot of side quests we can still do, but the story's moved us on already. You know what, let's go the other way. Looking at the frame rate, you know, it's mostly staying, oh no, it just dipped below 60, 40. So it's definitely putting some hurt on the frame rate. It's a complicated area, I would imagine. A lot of, I don't know if all these people make a difference. You know, I probably shouldn't have switched that. I think my milestone might have been at a place that did not have stables. But, oh well.
Soldiers, horses, battle horns, and spears!
Okay, greetings, I'm a friend to the Prince of the Halflings. Have you ever seen a halfling? Sure. You're a stranger in the city, and we can go places I would be shooed away from were I alone. Take this whistle if I somehow get separated. What are we doing? Go see the ranks of the soldiers. Okay. Okay. You boy, you don't belong here. Get out of my sight. Skulking urchins. Eh, Hanar? Always something cross my sight again and you'll earn a bruise to show for it. As you turn away, a swan knight of Belfalas catches your eye.
We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's too late.
Okay, so the knight gives you the slightest nod, and then it pains me that even in this dark hour, we cannot count on each other for common kindness, yet it is ever so. Young man, know that he raised his arm to you, I would have intervened. Oh, had he? I saw clearly that this man, your companion, was one breath from doing the same, but someone elder and stronger than you cannot always be by your side, therefore I counsel you to look before you step. Okay, you may grow to be strong, you maybe even take the trapping of a knight, but a cautious step and keen judgment will guard you from blows that no armor ever can. Okay. At the end. Oh, okay. Okay, take some supplies. What does that mean? Wishes to feed some apples. Okay, so somehow we gotta find apples, I guess. This is not what I want to be doing with my time. So not every horse counts. If you're wondering why I'm blowing past them, it's only the ones with the word horse sticking out of them. Okay, so it's not only horses that enjoy a treat. There's a monger there who also wants a treat. Perhaps if I ask the right way, Himner will send food to all the children. Okay. Okay, I think they're gonna make us go to the cook. So maybe that's Himner that's gonna help feed the kids. I mean, that's a noble pursuit, but again, you know, I was saying at the end of last session that like Osgiliath was one of the high points I've had in this game in a while. Not that this game is a series of low points, but like I really liked Osgiliath. And I said like if that's the high point of Volume 4, then worth it. But I did not expect this bit of a low point quest-wise to come so quickly on the heels. Okay, so I think I need to blow the whistle to get the Hobbit back. There we go, let's do that.
Safely? With the enemy all around?
Okay, so he needs a whisk in order to do whatever he's gonna do. Bring the whisk to... Tinker Amonel in the Wrights Market. Okay. Well, let's start making our way. It is genuinely hard to care narratively about what this quest line is asking. Maybe it goes somewhere, but at the moment, I just don't care. But I will say, like, from a presentation, this is spectacular. Another player character, nice. A level 110 champion, very nice. The old guest house, of course, okay.
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith.
Okay, just take it and let me go. Okay, 2 thieves confront... Oh, out of 9? Okay.
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith.
Okay. I don't know what the right number is. 9 feels like a lot, but... What I liked about Osgiliath is it... And maybe there's, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder and stuff like that. It never felt like busy work.
Well met.
I feel like I should be able to do this. Okay, so that's copper. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see, like, okay, the arrow's there, but it thinks it's pointing at the 297. Is that a way to... Doesn't seem to correspond. Oh well. Here's the tinker for the whisk.
I should have left the city with the others. Too late now.
Okay, tour some more of the city. I mean, I don't know if this is like a... get you to walk around the city kind of quest to familiarize yourself with it. I mean, I get the value in that.
Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Although, you know, these thieves are sort of like the lowest of low, right? Like, you know, we need all hands on deck to fight for our very existence. And he's like, oh, maybe I can get a little gold out of this or something. Like, you know, they shouldn't enjoy the protection of the city, I think, on some level, right? We met Master... Right? Okay.
Won't let our city fall.
Yeah, so we've got... Okay, line of kings, 4 out of 33. Nope. 1 out of 7, 4 out of 10. Like, that's... Okay, 2 out of 25. So it's like, go around and collect 55 different plaques, which I will not be doing. Okay, so what I need to know now is how do I get up to the second tier? Nope. So there seems like there's stables. Okay, so they took into account like getting around within the city. There seems to be stables within the city at every tier. or most of them at least. Not sure what I should be doing here. Unless it's up above on the bridge. I think what's also interesting about this for me is that I think this is the first time we've seen a city in Middle-earth, right? Like you've seen, you know, Bree. I would not classify as a city. I wouldn't say it's small, but it's not a massive undertaking. Not sure why. Let's try these stairs over here. See if it gets us up high enough to start doing I don't know what. I'm trying to think of somewhere else that, you know, felt like a large central city of Middle-earth. Probably can't hear it in the mic. At the time of this recording, again, this is going to go up way after when I've actually recorded it. This neck of the woods has been having one of the coldest winters in a long, long time. And today, the temperatures again have plummeted. And the winds outside, which I don't know if I assume you can't hear, but I'm listening to it. Like, I find it a soothing sound, but like we're supposed to be having gusts of like 30, 40 miles an hour, taking the wind chill like to like -10. It's it is brutal. Which, you know, there are probably people like in northern Michigan going like, dude, like that's a Tuesday. But here in New Jersey, where most days in the winter probably above freezing. Osgiliath appears before you, a cruel sneer on his lips. Boys that can't heed their elders need to be taught a lesson.
We won't let our city fall.
Okay, it's basically saying, hey, little one, go skulk away. Let's go. Perhaps Amonel has finished mending that whisk. Okay, again, though, how do you get from one layer to the next? Or do I just go to the stable and pay the mithril coin? And maybe not fast travel, but just to like, okay, how do I do this? You know, I'm too dumb to figure it out. You know, take like a self-guided tour, autopilot me there so I can at least see where to go, and then I'll take it from there. What's killing me is I'm looking at the clock and I feel like this has been like 20 minutes of this stuff. Level 115 Hunter, very nice. And that's what I mean, like, you know, I'm level 100, they're level 115. I'm assuming I'm meant to be here for a while. Just like, even if it's not as involved of a self-contained area as Moria. Moria was like a 10 level stint or so, 8 levels, 10 levels. You know what? Just enjoy the ride, right? Like, if this book takes 7 parts, this book takes 7 parts.
So many of my friends have left the city.
Okay, let's whistle the Hobbit back. Okay, let's Tell me I must go face Osgiliath. Put him in his place. Now, Osgiliath was on the wall. Osgiliath will be waiting in the second circle between Feasting Hall and the tavern. Okay, so he's sort of guiding me. He's like, hey, you're going to have to go up. So, okay, so he is sort of steering me where I need to go. Trying to see if I can tell from the map. But it's not obvious. Lower stores. The water. Old guest house. Lower... Okay. Okay, let's go to the stables. Again, I feel like there's something here, but I can't get in. Level 109 Hunter. Okay, so there's, you know...
How may I help you, friend?
There's some activity here. I like seeing that. We want to go to the soldiers tier. We're not going to swift travel. Because I want to know how to do it. my assumption is that it's going to be like a loading screen, so I'm just trying to figure out where to activate that loading screen. Because I'm assuming each of these levels is probably too complicated to have it be one sprawling city. But maybe I'll be proven wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ah, look at that. All right. Oh yeah, they're colored gold. Okay, I didn't even see that. Let's dismount.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay, now I feel pretty dumb because that's pretty obvious, but okay.
The second circle is home to ale halls, barracks, armories, and the wielding yard.
Mithrandir's word is enough for me, and I will teach you the greater password for the sword gate. The password is Beacons of Gondor. Share it with no one. Beyond this gate lies the second circle of the city, known to the people of Gondor as the Soldiers' Tier. This tier of the city is home to several ale halls and barracks catering to soldiers in the town guard, as well as a number of armories and the wielding yard. Go in peace and cause no trouble within the city. We have enough of that to spare if the scouts can be trusted. Okay, so yeah, the book quest is also sending us to the different gates. You can see, like, probably right here, that's the gate to the third tier. I have a feeling I missed it, but let's just make sure. Nope, here we go. All right.
Beyond this gate lies the third circle, the craftsman's tier.
I will teach you the greater password for the Silver Gate. The password is Anarion. You'll find it easy to remember, for he was the son of Elendil, who ordered the construction of the city. At that time it was called Minas Anor, the Tower of the Sun, though it has since been renamed Minas Tirith, the Tower of the Guard. Beyond this gate lies the third circle of the city, the craftsman's tier. This tier of the city houses shops and smithies, as well as the clothier's market and fellow hall. Builders and merchants will find much to attend to their needs on this tier of the city, as will any who seek the auctioneers of the House of Clamor. Okay, let's activate the stable master.
These are troublesome times.
There we go.
Indeed.
Looks like there's a quest marker on the stairs. Or is it down below? Opportunists. So I guess below me is a thief. Level 152 hunter.
When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready.
Sure.
The enemies of men approach.
Okay, go to the center of the sparring area. Do not be defeated. Getting some real stuttering, some real, I don't know what. I mean, lag. This is who Harnian sent us to spar with. This shouldn't take long. Yield, I yield, okay. Okay, thanks for warming up. Let's let a real soldier do the job. Ah, you got lucky. Think you can handle two of us? T-pose? Why not? A dude that is face down ring wraiths. I think you can take two normies at the same time. Okay, I just wasn't ready. Come now, you must be getting tired. Heh. Wow, you are strong. Yeah, listening to the wind, you know, like... Alright, you have 10 seconds to prepare yourself, then we're coming at you. You know, it just... You know, I lost my job a little while ago, and, you know... Again, at the time of recording, still, you know, putting things together, and it's... You know, I feel just very, very, very lucky that... While it has not been good... It has not been devastating yet, I should say. So, you know, just listening to that wind and, you know, knowing I have a roof over my head and, you know, it's more than a lot of people have in this world, and I feel very, very, very lucky. And hearing it just makes me appreciate it when I know outside is just this frigid temperature. Okay. Is there anyone left? Now come back here. If you have strength left for you to walk, that is... You gonna give me shit after I just beat like 10 of your guys?
When the time comes to fight, We'll be ready.
Alright, that's going to redouble their efforts because of the humbling, okay. Alright, well done.
When the time comes to fight,
Alright, hear us out. What do we have here? A warden? A wager?
we can only hope that the Rohirrim
Did you see that pier up there? On the ship's prow, as some call it? Well, the man told me that the winds race up its face so fiercely you couldn't walk off of it if you tried. You'd be shoved back. It stands to reason, does it not?
We can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive before it's
Carry
too
the
late.
chicken to the ship's prow.
To see this city fall would be a tragedy, but the emptiness is a tragedy all on its own.
Okay, explain that I'm an acquaintance of Mithrandir, and you'd tell Dervorin that you've recently passed through Ringlow Vale yourself. Oh, yeah. Oh, you have? Tell me. Talk some more on the wall. Okay.
When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready.
Alright, I'm to be Lord Ringlow Vale one day, and I do not wish for that day to come as my father, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You tell Dervorin about your adventures with his brother? With his brother, yeah. And renewed spirits, blah, blah, blah.
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith?
Okay, I'm glad my father's leading the people again. So yeah, this is sort of a callback to a lot of the stories we've been having in probably Volume 3, as we were running around Gondor. Seeks to make his family proud, nice. Like, that kind of side quest I really like. The, you know, with the Hobbit around and face down bullies, and get, you know, baking whisks repaired. Not as much. There's Oriat. Well, look here, boys.
Mordor will regret challenging the walls
Why should I
of
chance a
Minas
wound
Tirith.
for the sorry likes of you? You've beaten me. No, you haven't given anything. Okay. Alright. Listen here, boy. You've won protection while your champion walks by you, but if I catch you or any other child here in the second circle alone, it's more than a box to you. Fuck that guy. It's just like... Man, there are literally a million other things to worry about, dude. Okay. Okay, you won yourself freedom in the first circle, but neither you nor any of the other children should venture up here anymore. Oriat will surely do you harm. I read that plainly in his eyes. Okay, we better not stay. I'll go back to the old guest house now. I must think and talk with the other children. Will you meet me there? I mean, eventually, yeah.
news do you bring, traveler?
Ugh. Oh well. Okay, so we're still on this tier. There's still, underneath the staircase is another thief that I want to go deal with. And then we'll start making our way up the higher ranks.
Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Okay, stop. Just take the goods, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to go up here, then we're going to make our way, I guess, down around the outside to the south. Forget what this was. Oh, that's carrying a chicken to the... Alright.
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith.
Okay, okay, doing some tasks for some of the guards, I guess. One thing I do kind of like, I think I'm seeing, what I'm seeing is that, like, each one has been getting a little bit more narrow the higher up we get. Vault Keeper, can I dump some stuff there?
Greetings, traveler.
Like this, I should just be dumping. For now, let's dump... Oh, I can't use that anymore because I'm now level 100. The level 99 seemed like a million miles away. Get rid of these portraits. Is there anything else I can dump? What's this? Statues, yeah, we can get rid of those. Here's the part of the problem, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably sitting on a bunch of traceries that could be really good. I just haven't opened them. Man, that feels like ages ago. The Watching Stone Orders, I think that's from Volume 1. That's like, I think back in Angmar, maybe? Let's dump that. Nope, can't do it. Okay. I don't know what that just did. Yeah, what I'm hoping is by clicking these, it's making traceries that actually stack or something. So maybe it's opening up some slots. And then what I can do, hopefully, is gather... Ooh. I'm out. Okay. Or if there's a way to get another one of those. Was that a tracery? Let's see, can I put that on my spear? Yeah, why not? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I mean, that definitely freed some stuff up. Let's organize this stuff and see how it looks. Yeah, I mean, right? It's not insignificant. Now, I wonder if we go to the Lord of the Rings, the store, can we buy... legendary items? No, I don't want that. I just want, dye essence. Can I buy another one of these? Max 2. Yeah. Okay. War spoils, crafting. You know, again, if I got into this, man, I'd really be good. All right, so let's open that up. Oop. Look at that. Can't remember the last time my inventory was that empty. Okay, nice. Very nice little quality of life going on there. Okay, so we want to head down to the south. Is there something in here? Let me double check.
With the women and children gone, this city truly is a grim place.
Okay, the noble chests have clothes that could be put to good use. Why don't you go grab them? Now, is that somewhere in here, or is that... outside in the city? Well, whatever. Like, we got it. That's fine. If we come across it, we come across it. But yeah, some really chunky performance, I gotta say. Even like indoors, I'm getting like 40 frames a second. That seems a little nuts. I don't claim to have any expertise as to why, but it's a lot. It's a big hit. Carry the chicken to the ship's prow. So I assume I have to get all the way to the top? Ugh, God damn it. Stupid chicken. Can I talk to anybody? Nope.
Gondor needs your aid.
Okay, at least that's activated, if nothing else. The other thing, I was mentioning, my brother and I started, we were playing Remnant 2. We beat it, we beat the game. Again, really good time. I'll be curious how it did and if there will be a third. And, given how the second one ended, I'm not going to spoil it specifically, but I do feel like it opens up opportunities if people wanted to... It opens it up, I think, that it doesn't have to be more of the same. It could, they do something with the ending where it's like, yeah, if we wanted to mix it up a little bit, we could. Which I think is a good idea. Remnant 2, I will say, like, I've said it a million times, I did like it. I definitely enjoyed it more than the first one. But, the first one was their first one. So, that's, you got to work out the kinks. You don't know what the idea is going to be until you do it. And, the first one was interesting, but it was maybe not always well balanced, or, there were things about it was maybe a little repetitive. The second one felt less repetitive, felt better balanced, but maybe it was just because it wasn't frustrating. Like, you could just sort of... I don't want to say it was ever easy, but, It wasn't like just bash your head against the wall punishing the way sometimes like a ridiculous Souls game kind of boss might be. So yeah, it was good, but then and then the final boss, we thought like, oh god, this is going to be such a pain in the ass. And eventually we got it. Like all of a sudden we realized, okay, the final boss, if you do this, we started getting, there's two sort of phases to that boss fight, the final boss. And like the first one, not that we were ever perfect, but we were consistent in being able to get through it with not too much difficulty. And then we, the second phase, we were like, oh god, how are we ever going to figure this out? And we kind of did. And it sort of happened, this part was a little surprising, it sort of happened all at once, where we were, struggling, and then we sort of got like 20% better, and then we just beat it somehow, like just something clicked, and we just did it. And it was cool, it was a really fun experience. And then we started messing with the PC adaptation of Gloomhaven. The board game that's sort of like a RPG board game. And I have played Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Where am I? And it was great. I didn't get super far in it. It's a pretty involved board game. And I tried it with my kids, and they were like, yeah, this is good. And I was like, oh, this is really fun. But we never stuck with it to the degree where we would get really deep into an adventure. But we had fun. And so my brother and I, he's like, well, what difficulty setting should we put it on? I'm like, well, I'll be honest with you. My recollection is that this game is hard. It's not going to be like any other CRPG you've played. It's based on a board game, and what you're trying to do is going to be different. It's about hand management. It's about efficiency. It's not just about like D&D cast spells, kill, stuff like that. It's trying to figure out how to get to the next layer. And so we did we sort of made our characters, we didn't, like a computer game, we just like, we'll figure it out as we go. We kind of knew how to play. They give you a whole bunch of tutorials that explain like the game to you, and we're like, and I did a couple, and then we're just like, I've played this before, we can figure it out. We got to copy the rule book, well, and then we got our ass kicked. Just absolutely kicked in the first mission. But I will say, like, so I asked, at the end of it, I was like, what'd you think? And, I think everybody was pretty happy with how it went. So looking forward to getting some more in and, hopefully figuring it out and getting a little more efficient. I'll be curious though, because if the mechanics are going to be so different, will we just be like, you know what? Like, we're not cracking it. Let's let's go for a more traditional game. Okay, so somehow we want to get... Am I still carrying that stupid fucking chicken? Because if I'm not, and I could just go do other stuff, then... Like, what I'm worried about is, like, did it time out? All the way back there. Jesus. Alright. Like, I've been dealing with this stupid chicken. I think I said this in the last session where, like, I wonder if, like, the verticality is gonna just jam me. Like, I had a real trouble navigating Moria because of its vertical nature. I just felt like it was never made super clear for me. I would have trouble navigating the map when the third dimension was involved. And I feel like I might be having a similar problem here. Hopefully I'm getting back to the stables and then I can at least pay a mithril coin to fast travel.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I don't know what tier I'm on. I've got a ring right there. I don't know, is it the House of Healing? I mean, it remains very impressive. Performance is shit, but the spectacle of it, like, it's really bad. Like, to be inside where it seems like there's a lot less going on, like, I don't know if I'm missing something, but like, I'm getting dips into like the 30s, 20s. Like, it's really brutal. That's the Sages tier. So let's just stable master our way over to the Sages tier.
Gondor needs your aid.
If nothing else, at least we've unlocked, yeah, all the stable masters that I could see. Okay, gathering donations. I do remember seeing...
Mordor will regret challenging the walls of Minas Tirith.
Okay, how many is that? Seven of 9, okay. Level 103 champion, very nice. Going the wrong way. I wonder if you halt, so this person's halted experience. It's something you're able to do. I wonder if they're just like, you know, I'm gonna go quest here for, and just milk content for everything I can find, and never worry about outpacing it. Keep it a challenge the whole time. At first I was nervous about not doing these because I was like, you know, these going to be some way to like just fast travel to specific places within the city. Doesn't seem to be the case, but yeah, whatever. Oh, interesting. You can even set a milestone within the city. It's not just the front gate. Okay, so that might be the one I saw.
Dark skies, dark tidings.
Okay, her son's not been himself. He's wandering the city, and she wants you to tell him to come on home and have a good meal. Okay, so her son's not there. Okay, we met the warden, okay.
Let our city fall.
There's sabotage in the cisterns. I mean, they're definitely giving you plenty to do. To their credit. Not all of it is interesting. I'm going to fast travel for the book. I'm kind of curious where this is going to take us. We're at the Lord's Gate, but I don't know where on the map. Okay, so we're back down there.
Prince Imrahil carried Faramir through this gate. Will he live? He must.
All right, Mithrandir says you're trustworthy. There are some for whom that would not be enough, but it is not my place to deny you. I will teach you the greater password for the Lord's Gate. The password is House of Stewards. There has been no king for nearly 1,000 years, and Gondor is now ruled by a line of stewards. Mere minutes ago, I allowed the Prince of Dol Amroth passage through this gate, and it seemed to me that he bore the body of Faramir, the son of Steward of Denethor. I could not tell, the son of Steward Denethor. I could not tell if there was life in him, but I fear for the line of stewards if he should die, or has done so already. It's whispered that Boromir has already fallen. It here shakes his head with a frown. Forgive my gossiping tongue. Beyond this gate is the fourth circle, known to folks as the city as the Players' Tier. Minstrels and actors frequent the court of Voronway and the Blue Theater, and their wealthy patrons gather at the baths and guest houses between performances. The entrance to the great cistern that feeds most of the city is also on this level, but you would be wise to leave it be. The footing can be treacherous, and the watershed has claimed more than a few careless lives. Okay. So now we're trying to get to the fifth circle. which is near Sage's Tier. So we can take the Stable Master up to the Sage's Tier because we've already unlocked it. What's going on over here? It's a poet.
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you couldn't see
Okay,
it
wants
in
help with
today's.
poetry, I imagine. Again, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, stop trying to figure this out. What's the tier again that I want to get to? Sage's Tier.
Gondor needs your aid.
Oh, I like that. Strategist. That's a good one.
The fifth circle is the Sage's Tier, and it is a place of learning.
I see that Mithrandir has vouchsafed for you, but it's not enough for me to teach you the greater password for this gate. I will teach you the lesser password, as I have been instructed to do for friends of the wizard that are not known to me. The password is poetry. Understand that the lesser passwords change frequently, so conclude your business here with haste. The fifth circle of the city is known as the Sage's Tier, and it is a place of learning. Scholars study the stars from its Orion Tower, and natural philosophers make learned arguments within its quiet courtyards. Several archives can be found in the Fifth Circle, as can the House of Lore and the Scriptorum, where copies are made of valued documents and records. Okay. Where to next? Talk to... And why is that so small? What panel is that? Because I need to bump it up a little bit. Quest action, quest tracker, is that? There we go. Let's bump that up a little. Okay. Talk to Garthor at the Gate of Stones to the Sixth Circle. Okay, so we gotta look around to the Master's Tier.
How may I help you, friend?
The Dome of the Sun is in the Sixth Circle. The Council of Gondor meets there.
This is the Gate of Stones to the Sixth Circle of the city, and it is my duty to tell you that Mithrandir's word of your worthiness earns you the lesser password only. Conduct your business with speed and depart. The password for now is Vigilance. The Sixth Circle is known to folk of the city as the Master's Tier, but few of them ever climb to this gate. The houses of healing can be found in this tier, along with the cold hall where the dead are brought to be washed, clothed, and prepared for internment in the tombs, or, in the case of the common folk, the ossuaries within the Hill of Guard. The Dome of the Sun can also be found on this level. That is where the Council of Gondor meets to decide matters of state, and errand riders bring their resolutions throughout the city to the other reaches of Gondor. They have much to discuss of late, and I urge you not to bother them. Talk to Linharn at the Gate of the Citadel to the Seventh Circle. Level 1, 1000. Maybe that's one we've already encountered. Interior quest location. I didn't see any quests in there, but I didn't really look around too closely, maybe. That's the problem. Discover the fair hall, have I not?
It is the steward's command that you learn only the lesser password for this gate.
Mithrandir's pledge is of value, but I must follow the commands of the steward. It's his wish that Friends of the Wizard learn the lesser password for the Citadel and no other. The password is justice. The seventh circle of the city is called the Citadel, but it is also known as the Steward's Tier. Some of the common folk refer to it as the King's Tier, but that seems distasteful to me. There's been no king in Gondor for many hundreds of years, and the wise rule of the stewards has served us well, if you ask me. The Tower of Ithilien, yeah. The Tower of Ithilien? Hold on one sec. Yeah, Ithilien. Sorry, I had to move my mic a little bit. The Tower of Ithilien stands proudly atop the city, a sign of Gondor's might. Steward Denethor rules within the halls of kings, but you will only see within at his direct invitation. The path atop the city's pier is patrolled by guards of the Citadel and kept clear of obstructions. If you wish to walk the ship's prow and behold the view, do so in safety, while that is still possible. Okay.
You were denied the greater passwords for some of the levels. What rubbish.
Denethor seeks to demonstrate his authority. He should be preparing for war with the enemies instead of hindering his allies. It does not matter. For now, you have free passage through the city. Minas Tirith is strong, and it was built in 7 levels with strategic purpose. Did you notice how the gates alternate sides, first on the south, then the north, and then on the south again? Such design causes the ascending road to pass through the neaths in the pier at regular intervals, and carving so many arched tunnels in the stone cannot have been easy. It was done at Anarian's command so the city could be easily fortified, and an opposing force would have a long road to march before reaching the heights of the city. The walls of the city have never been breached, no enemy has broken the gates. Denethor knows this. He believes that Minas Tirith cannot fall, and that knowledge gives him strength, but it also is a weakness. He refuses the help I might give him, and the help you could provide. I think that's an error. Alright, so we got a choice of boots, we got might or agility. I'll take might.
We must not rely on the strength of the walls. The people must be strong.
Okay. We must not rely solely on the strength of the walls. We must ensure that the people are strong as well. It will not be long before the enemy is arrayed before the walls, and in that moment the city's defenders will need courage with deep foundations. There are some folk with whom you should speak, my friend. Unresolved matters may linger and cast hearts into confusion when the end approaches. Day-to-day affairs in the city are managed by a group of officials that comprise the Council of Gondor. They meet in the Dome of the Sun on the 6th Circle. Introduce yourself to the doorward and do what you can to aid the council. I came here in the company of Peregrine Took, Hobbit of the Shire. He is now a guard of the Citadel. The less said of that, the better, and I expect he could use a friendly word from you. I spoke with Lord Dwyn here of the Blackroot Vale a short time ago, and it seems that his sons left the city without permission, and indeed against his direct command. I understand you met Dwylin and Derufin during their ill-advised adventure. Find them within one of the taverns in the lower circles of the city, and perhaps something can be done to soothe their father's temper. Okay. So it seems like, we're getting about the city, but we're also getting hold on. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. We're getting like a full set of armor that has slots for essences. That seems to be part of what all this is about. Okay, we met Omatar. I'm not gonna lie, I'm supposed to meet these wardens. It's getting to the point where I don't actually remember what some of these quests are, and I might just click through them like an idiot. And I apologize that I'm not sort of tracking some of these stories cleanly, but that peregrine.
It is good to see a familiar face in this city of strangers.
Well, hello. Gandalf hinted that I might be seeing you shortly, but I wasn't sure that I believed him. It's good to see a familiar face in this grand city of strangers. I met a few friends already, but the city is not built to Hobbit scale, is it? I find it quite overwhelming. On the off chance that you really would be turning up, I arranged with one of the taverns for a picnic lunch, and I expect it is nearly ready. There should be enough good food and drink for the two of us, and we can share stories and catch up on our adventures. I say our adventures, but really mine has not been very eventful since we last met. I hope it stays that way. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. It doesn't seem likely though, does it? The proprietor of the Thirsty Seer in the 5th circle of the city should have the picnic basket set out by now. If you go down there, pick it up, and carry it out to the edge of the pier, you can have a lovely lunch at the watch point. I will meet you out there, but be sure to bring the picnic basket. Okay. So, you know, this is interesting. Like, as much as I've been sort of whining about some of the mission, that actually doesn't bother me because, like, you know, part of what's going on here is, like, you know, it's been ages since we've seen each other. A lot has happened in that time.
To see this city fall would be a tragedy. But this emptiness is a tragedy all its own.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, so we're looking for book 4. Whoa. All right. Okay, so I want to talk to Othnar and complete the Council of Gondor. Okay, so the Council of Gondor meets in the Dome of the Sun on the 6th circle of Minas Tirith. Yeah, I was just here, right? Alright, at least let's take in the view. I'm sure I don't have the chicken anymore for this chicken quest, but... Again, always impressive, but I don't have the picnic. Yeah, an absolute treasure trove of quests to do. A lot of content. Trying to figure out how to approach it because I don't want to miss on anything interesting. I don't want to miss out on anything interesting, but not sure how to get to the Dome of the Suns. God damn it. So the quest is to collect 8 empty plates. Like, oh my god, like, you don't have to make this a quest. And seriously, I don't understand why the performance is, tanking. Yeah, this is an unfortunate, like, callback, like, you know... we're in Isengard and we're doing the dishes, right? Like, that kind of stuff, like... I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so bring the empty plates to the lower levels.
I haven't slept in days.
So that counts as slaying Easterling. Interesting. Okay. Okay, thank you for teaching us. All right. Again, really impressive. You know, the attention to detail. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. I still don't know how to get to where I want to go. Okay, so I feel like there's a thing here at the Tower of whatever. Let me see if I can hook around. I cannot. Okay. Now in the 5th level, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the Sage's tier. Okay.
Every minute feels like hours. We can only prepare so much.
Okay, so I guess we've got the picnic lunch, and now we've got to return it all the way back to the top. I was gonna say, $10 says I missed this entrance. Now the question is, do I remember how to get up to... There we go. So one thing, I think I was mentioning this at some point. I don't know which stream it was on, but, one of the... I was mentioning, the games I play with my brother. We co-op a lot of stuff, and a recent completion that we did, I don't know when we finished it, maybe a month ago, a little longer, I don't know. It was Baldur's Gate 3, and we had a really great time, but one of the things... I remember thinking it's the same thing I felt with a lot of RPGs, is that when you hit a city, everything sort of grinds to a halt. I mean, there were some places in Gondor that were sizable, like where, man, I forget. Maybe it wasn't Gondor, maybe it was Rohan, but we sit out at the picnic lunch, everything looks delicious.
Do not be shy, my friend. Let us dig in.
When you're sort of getting everything prepped to go to Helm's Deep, that was pretty sizable, but it wasn't convoluted like this. And again, it might be just the three-dimensional aspect of it. Look at this delicious spread. I see why Gandalf spoke so highly of the Thirsty Seer. It's his favorite tavern in Minas Tirith, apparently, and I can see why. Well, do not be shy, my friend. Let us dig in and we can talk after we've taken the edges off our appetite. Level 1 adventurer. Tastes very good, of course. That's a good start, but by no means an end. I will nibble a bit while we speak, if that's all right with you. You asked Pippin how he came to the White City. Oh, Gandalf brought me here. I slept much of the way, but Shadowfax is the swiftest of his kind, and he was at a gallop for most of the journey. Why did we leave our friends behind? Well, Gandalf thought. He just thought I should see Minas Tirith, is all. The others had their own plans, and, well, he's a wizard. Pippin awkwardly stops speaking and picks at the food in silence. You wonder at his sudden evasiveness and decide to have a little more of that lunch. Tastes very good, but you're becoming worried about Pippin. You sip the brew and it refreshes you. The food tastes fine enough. I wasn't entirely honest with you, Black Lodge, and I'm sorry for that. Gandalf did not bring me to Minas Tirith without cause or a simple sightseeing trip. I know you were not deceived, but it's difficult to speak of, and I'm still ashamed that I might have worked some harm. Not on purpose. Gandalf called me a fool once or twice, and he was right to do so, but I would never endanger my friends on purpose. There was an artifact at Isengard. Wormtongue threw it down from the tower, intending to do some harm to either Saruman or Gandalf, and I saved it from rolling away into a pool. Gandalf claimed it soon afterward, but not soon enough. I found I could not stop thinking about the dark globe. I stole it away from the wizard when he slept and looked into it. I saw. Pippin trails away into silence, shame and fear written upon his face. Pippin stands and gazes off into the distance. I saw a tall tower in a black sky and wheeling shapes like bats, but much larger and more frightening, and then I saw him. He looked at me and his voice came not to my ears but to my mind, if that makes any sense. He asked me questions, and when I did not answer, I felt searing pain. I told him I was a hobbit, and his laughter was cruel. He said I would see him soon, and then Gandalf broke the spell and took away the stone. The artifact was a seeing stone, a palantir, and Saruman had used it to communicate with his Dark Master. Gandalf would not tell me very much about the stone, but he seemed to think we escaped a much worse fate through a lucky chance of good fortune. I think he was right. I could not turn my eyes from the stone, and if that horrible figure had continued his questions, I know I would have answered him. What else might he have showed me in the Palantir? I cannot guess and do not wish to. This is not the sort of conversation that suits a picnic. Let us clean up our food and we can speak up again at my post.
There may once have been good reasons for using such stones, but no longer.
I would like to apologize for spoiling our picnic with such frightening conversations. Food was delicious and the company was excellent, of course, but I should not have spoken so much about the Seeing Stone and what I saw within. You assure Pippin that it did not ruin the picnic and that you are simply glad he is all right now. Well, I thank you for saying so, my friend. I will give such artifacts a wide berth from now on. I can assure you of that. There may have been once good reasons for using them, as Gandalf says, but now there's so much trouble in, well, you know what land I mean. Now that there's so much trouble away to the east, I dare say no one should peek into one of those stones, ever. I'll get back to my duties now. It was nice to see you again. Okay. Again, okay, so they're willing to let me into this side of the guest house, but not the other. I don't know if that's something that's going to open up later.
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you couldn't see it in better
Carry
days.
dirty drying cloths. I'm just trying to figure out, like, the main book quest. Nope. Did I miss one? Nope. Okay, Sud's bucket.
When the time comes to fight, we'll be ready.
Okay, I mean, all right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop this session now. We'll get back outside. We'll call this a session. We'll call this part 1 of Volume 4, Book 4. I gotta say, like, every big set piece, Moria, there was one other one. Moria in particular, disappointing. I have not enjoyed this yet. It's just a combination of, for me, and it's my own failing, frustrations trying to get around, just not being able to figure out exactly, you know, like, I want to just go here, please don't make me fight the environment to get there. Really trivial quests like washing people's socks a second, like, we should not be doing that at level 101 or whatever of the story. Like, we should not be doing that. I don't know what the alternative is, but it's not that. So disappointing side quests that are stupid tedious and feel, in a way, out of character at this point, right? Frustrations getting around Minas Tirith, as impressive as it is in some ways, it's just, so far, it's making me feel what I felt in Moria, which is mostly just get me through the books and then let me move on past this. It's also like with Rohan in the writing, right? Like, tell me what I got to do at a bare minimum with the writing mechanics so I can get out of this and move on. So I hope with the next session is, you know, we got to chapter 4. I was hoping to get through chapter 4, but I'm just finding it frustrating getting around at the moment. And, you know, spent almost 2.5 hours just basically trying to figure out how to walk around the city. So I apologize for that. But yeah, this will be part 1 of Volume 4, Book 4. Hopefully we can sort of speed through. Now that I'm starting to see, like, there are side quests here, like, you know, there's sabotage with the water cisterns. Like, that seems like it could be interesting. But while I'm hitting those, and also, you know, not always being able to consistently click on stuff, I guess it's getting a little bit... Yeah, see, okay, there, like... I guess it's not so bad right at the moment. So there's a couple of frustrations all sort of coming together at the moment. So I'm just going to stop this for now. I just said that 10 minutes ago, and I apologize for rambling. So thanks again to everybody who sticks around. Sorry this was a bit of a downer in terms of a session, but there was some good stuff to it. And I am excited to see where the story goes, but I'm not excited to spend a ton of time here in Minas Tirith at the moment. And that's a little disappointing, I have to say. I don't know if that's what the community tends to feel, but that's my impression at the moment. So if you're watching this, you found us on YouTube, like and subscribe if that's your thing. We're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. If you want to check out the channel, you can see all the different systems we played, the actual plays. We have some discussion podcasts, Souls, RPG topics. If you prefer audio versions of any of that or the actual plays, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio, and we should show up. We've got a Discord if you want to jump in. Otherwise, we'll definitely be back with more Lord of the Rings Online, obviously. And we'll be back with all the other stuff we've been doing at the time of this recording. So thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.